Welcome back. Let's talk about Vmart Retail. The stock is down about 2% and understandably so given the weakness that the company reported in their second quarter numbers. The revenues grew about 8.5%, but same-store sales growth was down by about 4% and the EBITDA of the company was all but eroded with a cut of 99%. In the last 12 months itself, the stock has been an underperformer, underlying the weakness that we're seeing in consumer sentiment. The question is, when and where do we see recovery? Let's welcome Anand Agarwal, who joins in from Vmart Retail to detail the quarter that went by, but more importantly, the quarters that one is looking ahead. Thanks a lot, Anand, for joining in. You've been talking about this underlying weakness that we're seeing in consumer sentiment, but at the same time, the last time you joined us, you said that the first 15 days post Pitru Paksh were good as well. Now we're speaking in the first week of November, just a week ahead of Diwali. Could you tell us how sales in the first half of this quarter so far have been, and to that extent, what can one expect in the second half for both revenue as well as same-store sales growth?
Yeah, good morning. You're absolutely right. I think with the shift in the festive calendar from quarter 2 to quarter 3, a bulk of the festive sales, which predominantly forms a very strong part of our portfolio, has moved into quarter 3. And the first half of quarter 3 has so far begun quite well. We are seeing very robust footfall growth. We are seeing good amount of traction coming in all parts of the country, especially UP, which is our core market. UP, Bihar, I think they're doing quite well. Even Durga Puja, which has went by very recently, has been a good start. So overall, I have a sense that we are definitely seeing far greater traction and far better performance, at least in quarter 3. And quarter 3, in any case, coincides not only from a festive shift, but also the onset of the winters in the northern parts of the India, and also a very heavy wedding season. So all in all, I can only hope and wish that quarter 3 becomes the strong performing quarter for us. Traditionally, in the past years, it has always accounted for almost 70-80% of the full year profitability and almost 35-40% of sales. So that way, I think this year, in fact, it is going to be much higher if all goes well.
All right. Hi, Mr. Agarwal. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, give us a couple of numbers, though. SSSG growth, I think, in quarter 2 was close to around 4%. For the second half of the year, what will the SSSG growth be? And also for both your verticals, that is Vmart as well as Unlimited, which is the acquired entity, growth wasn't that great. For the second half, in revenue terms, what will the growth be?
I think, Nigel, on a full year basis, what we are targeting is mid-single digit same-store sales growth. But more importantly, what we have been pushing towards is a volume-led growth. We've taken a lot of price correction in almost all parts of our portfolio, especially in South India, where the price cuts have been as deep as almost like 20%. And we have seen, more than 10% volume growth, even in the quarter 2, just gone by. And therefore, we are quite hopeful that we should be able to offset a lot of the price cuts with more volume growth, therefore yielding into same-store sales growth. But on a full year basis, I think we should still target, mid-teens, mid-single digit same-store sales growth.
All right, mid-single digit same-store sales growth. You said that the third quarter usually accounts for nearly 35% of your sales. Now, assuming that the first half, because of the shift in the festive season, is about 35 to 40% of your sales, can we look at a number of over 3,000 crores for the entire year in terms of revenue? Because, right now you're at around 1,250 odd crores. Last year was close to 2,500 odd crores. If the second half has to be 60% of your sales, then obviously you'd be closer to 2,700 to 3,000 crores, that range. Would that be a fair assumption, Anand?
No, I think you are very good in mathematics, but I can only say that, we would target 20%, growth over last year, and that roughly would equate to what you are saying, give or take a couple of hundreds here or there. But yes, that is what we would want to target. I cannot comment on the number, but definitely, we internally would like to see at least 20% growth year on year.
Okay. All right. Mr. Agarwal, what about expected store addition for FY24? Could you give us, you could break it up for us as well between Vmart, Unlimited, and what is the addition you're looking at? Any scale back of plans?
No, there's no scale back. We're quite confident of the overall trajectory, and we are guided towards 50 plus new store openings in this year. We've already opened almost 37 so far this year. In fact, 13 of them have come in the last 30 days only. So in preparation for the festive, in preparation for Diwali and Chhath, we've opened a lot of stores, and the team is still, buoyant on opening at least 5-6 more stores in the next week or 10 days. So I think the trajectory of around 50 plus stores for the full year seems, possible.
All right, 50, 60 stores this year. Anand, your thoughts on LimeRoad, how far is it away from breaking even? And at a steady state, what kind of quarterly run rate can we expect from this? Largely because now even vmartretail.com has been completely transformed into LimeRoad. So with all these things having worked, you've put a good couple of quarters behind post this acquisition. Things should now start looking good, right? So just wanted to understand from a quarterly run rate standpoint, what would the revenue be like, and by when does it break even?
So LimeRoad strategy is largely, a fashion-led strategy where we are trying to ensure that the omni fulfillment for a customer, which is offline to online and online to offline, is fulfilled through the marketplace model of LimeRoad. We've shifted completely vmartretail.com or transitioned vmartretail.com into LimeRoad in end August. And heartful to say that, we've not lost a single rupee of sales. In fact, we gained a lot of sales, almost like 20-25% sales additional we got through LimeRoad. And so far it's moving in the right trajectory, in the right direction. We're guided towards a full break even, by FY25, which is the next financial year. First half of the year has, as planned, has been slightly, more loss bearing. But I think going forward, quarter on quarter, we should see significant improvements coming in from the LimeRoad business. On the top line for LimeRoad, I think we're not building this up as a 5,000 crore rupee business or a 10,000 crore rupee business. What we are building is a platform for fulfilling the value fashion requirement for tier 2, tier 3 towns. And I think the revenue trajectory should still remain roughly around 200 to 250 crores for the full year in terms of the the commission revenue.
All right, Anand, thank you. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Wish you good luck for the festive season, the third quarter, the second half that you're speaking about. That's about Vmart. Opened lower after a big correction over the last 12 months, has recovered a tad from the lows. The management confident of achieving 20% revenue growth this year with mid-single digit SSSG as well and improving metrics. With that, take a short break. On the other side, we have another consumer company to discuss their numbers with. NH Bhansali of Imami joins in.